Good morning, sunshines. How are we doing today? I'm just out on a little bike ride today. My friend was going on the train, so I decided to ride my bike and meet up with her. But that brought me on a little adventure, and I figured I'd go check some of my spots. And I kind of wanted to talk about this spot right here, because this is a case of one of those, once you see something, you can't unsee it. Say hello to Elderflower. These beautiful little flowers will eventually turn into elderberries. I've not found one until this year, and now all of a sudden I see them everywhere. So when I am out and about, I almost always have at least one book with me. Today it's my common native shrubs and woody vines. And if you look here, you can see that we are looking for a large shrub, maybe a small tree with opposite pinnate compound leaves. And here's a little picture of what it could look like. So here we have our flower clusters, but underneath the leaves, the pinnate opposite compound, that means a leaf that is divided into smaller leaflets, and those leaflets are arranged on either side of the leaf's central stalk. You can see there in the background that it's definitely a shrub or small tree. And here are some more examples of the pinnate compound leaves. Another good thing to look for are those serrated edges along the leaves. The flowers are another key identifier. They tend to be flat top clusters of tiny creamy white flowers. They appear in early summer. Each flower has 5 tiny petals and 5 tiny stamens that stick out and hold the pollen above the flower. Here's one that I found that actually has the distinctive red stems and the berries and flowers. Aren't they pretty? This is one of only 2 lookalikes in my area, this one being poison hemlock, the other one being Queen Anne's lace. Both of these look similar, but their frilly leaves and green stems really set them apart from elderflower. Look what I found! Virginia's common yucca. I think it's crazy that we have a relative of the desert species right here in my backyard. I'll be going more into this plant in another video, but here, since it's available and flowering, I'm just going to collect a few of the flowers. A little further down on my ride, I find my big white mulberry trees. These are not the native variety, which is the red mulberry, but these have a tasty fruit that's white or cream colored. The way I know that the fruit is ripe and ready for picking is by gently shaking the different branches that I can reach. And the ones that fall to the ground are the ones that are ready for eating. Unfortunately today, very few are ripe, but in the midst of the crazy ripe season, this entire process is made a little easier by laying a tarp on the ground first. There's a few. not bad so far. Okay, well, we are home now. Let's see what we got. I think it's gonna be a black and white kind of day. We got a few white mulberries, but not many at all. They are still, I would say, a solid week out. And then we got a whole bunch of big, beautiful elderflowers. So I have some kind of standard things I want to do with them. I want to make a cordial or a drink syrup with them. So I'm gonna work on that. And then these, the yucca flowers, I do wish I would have grabbed a few more, but some of the plants can be bitter, so I didn't want to pick too many before trying it. So I think I'm going to make something a little crazy with those. So let's see. So the first step to making the elderflower cordial is to get the flowers off the stems. The stems have a mild toxicity, so you just want to get them mostly off. This is going to take a while, and the way my family raised me is you just get comfy on the couch, put on your favorite show, and pick the flowers. So I will be back when this is all done. And we're done. Look to get about half a cup. Here we have our flowers and the start of our cordial. I am going to add to this half cup of flowers about a teaspoon of lemon zest. Now this happens to be the lemon zest of some preserved lemons that I grew and preserved here in Zone 7. I'm very proud of them, but normal lemon zest would totally work here. Since I'm using preserved lemons, unfortunately it means I didn't have the juice, so I have to add about a tablespoon of just bottled lemon juice here. Next, I'm going to add about a cup of water. The goal is to be about 2 parts water to 1 part flowers. My goal is to get, I don't know, about a cup of tea once this is all said and steeped. At this point, I'm going to put it into a mason jar and let it sit overnight. Tomorrow I will strain it, add some sweeteners, and then use it as a syrup to add to sodas in the future. So I ended up going back and getting a few more flowers because this one thing of cordial just didn't seem like enough. But then I wanted to branch out. So I ended up adding, if you can see, about a same ratio of flowers to white vinegar. And then this one is going to be an alcohol. So this one is elderflowers with Everclear. But then this one, I ended up getting some dental work done, so I didn't show you the process. But basically, I had about a cup of the tea, just like I wanted to have. And I added equal parts of allulose and Lancato monk fruit sweetener because I wanted it to be a fairly natural syrup, but I also wanted it to be sugar-free, like I mentioned. And I just heated it up a little tiny bit in a pot, just enough to dissolve the sweeteners, put it in the fridge, and oh my goodness, let me tell you, it's amazing. I add it to sodas, I've added it to yogurt, and I've used it as pancake syrup. Even though it is a little thin, it kind of soaked in, but totally delicious. And to say goodbye today, I just wanted to have a soda with you and show you how I make mine. I add about an ounce of my cordial, my sugar-free. So to this one, I like sweet soda, but not too crazy sweet. So to the 1 cup of tea, I added 3 teaspoons, as in like the cereal spoons, 3 of each of the allulose and the monk fruit sweetener to mine. It's perfect that way for me, but feel free to add more or less depending on the way you like your sodas. Also, just using sugar is exactly the same. So, oh my goodness, it's delicious. It's floral, obviously. And I don't know, it just has something a little special. It kind of tastes like summer to me, even though it is spring, I understand. But it just has this really happy, bright, little bit of lemon because we put some in there. But yeah, it's really nice. The other two, the vinegar and the Everclear, I'm gonna check about every other week until 6 weeks. If they taste good at 2 weeks, I'll strain them and then use them, especially the vinegar for salad dressings, or I'm not really sure yet. Maybe just like a putting it on something to make it taste good. The cordial, or no, I'm sorry, the Everclear though, I will probably make some fancy drinks or even use it as a flavorant for like maybe cakes, like you would a vanilla extract. So I'm excited. I'm excited for all the possibilities, and I will definitely keep you updated on this crazy feral pantry I have.